What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red's Homestead. I'm Red. Thank you for stopping by to watch. Well, things in the greenhouse are going pretty good. Chickens are still going crazy. Nothing new. It's been 1 week today since I have planted the peppers and the tomatoes. So they are starting to come up and look good, stand back up. They're coming out of their shock. They have been given some food. We did get a black cherry. This one I believe was a bush Goliath. It's still very short to be a Goliath. This one here we did brandy wine. Here we go, pink brandy wine. I went and got some Super Thrive, which you probably really can't see, but that little bead right there, that little dot, that's what they look like. All of everything in here has gotten some, and we have not watered yet. If you hear the sprinkler going in the garden for the corn, that's what that noise is. The onions are doing great. Got to get in here and do some weeding. Onions and garlic. Like I said, this is my first time doing garlic, but I've done onions a bunch, but they're pretty much the same. Different color. The garlic is a little bit more light green compared to the dark onions, which it may be hard to see with all the weeds. Got to get in there and get them weeds out. Strawberries. Love my strawberries. And we've already had a couple. There's been a few, there's one right there. Put some out. It's got some bad spots in it. Typically the first few strawberries after I plant, just give it to the chickens. Let's see, here's another big one. It's coming. Try and lay that on a leaf. If you can remember to do that. Keep it off the ground and you won't get bad spots like that. And that's what the hay was for last year, but I got to get more hay put down. And you just tuck the hay under the plant. That way, if the new strawberries come out, they'll lay on the hay and not the ground. Because then they'll start to rot and bugs will get in there and stuff. It's just not good. Let's see, our blackberry and raspberries are still, I put some bamboo on there with some ties to stand them up. They're doing okay, they're ready, they're rocking. Blueberry, our last year's blueberry. Let me throw this out there real quick. Yeah, our blueberries are putting on flowers, and those will turn into berries. This is why I gave it the worm castings and the recharge and all the good goodies I put in here, is because I seen one little flower bud and I knew it was about to start wanting to put them out. So that's why I hit it with that and filled the pot up. And we've been just watering it for now. We'll give it some actual food for the water here in about another 2 weeks. I want the first set of fruit to come and go. And then after that, I'll hit it with some really good food. And then it should really put some good berries up for the rest of the year. Let's see here, our garden tomatoes are starting to pop up. These have been a really slow process. And these are the San Manzanaros. I may be saying that wrong. I grow plants, guys. I don't read. Yeah, so I got a few of these coming up. They are taking their time. Here on our herbs, that herb starting to come up. Let's see what this was. I may have not wrote it. Some of them I wrote, some of them I did not. These may be the peppers. The giant Chinese bell peppers, I think is what these are. Because those look like peppers to me, don't you? Peppers and tomatoes kind of look similar when they first come up. Here is some more tomatoes. These are the grape, the Abe grape, I think. I have to look that back up. But they're coming up nice and pretty. This whole thing is filled up. We did these from seed. Really impressed with that. Here's a few more. So we've got all these tomatoes. All these are going to be tomatoes, except this last row, this last four. These are berries, berry seeds. Raspberry, strawberry, blackberry, and I think mulberry. So those may take a longer time, so I'm just kind of just getting them going, but really waiting on this to take off, because this is really what I'm waiting on. These are going to be a little bit smaller plants, and I think these are going to be a little bit bigger, vinier plants. And we're going to do these on a cattle panel. Got to get one of those still. We went and looked at them today. They're not bad. So once we get one of those and these start getting up about a foot high, I'll plant them along the cattle panel. And we'll try and have some good, sturdy, strong tomato plants. We got cilantro coming up. We got 3 things of cilantro. Let's see. This is basil. Got a couple things of basil coming up. That is not basil. But that is the rounder. Like you can see, this is a piece of grass. But the rest of that is basil. Every time we get a storm and my greenhouse doesn't have a screen, so I've got the thing there to keep the chickens and the cats out, but it still blows stuff in. I need to get some more screening material like this and lay that on my door. That'll help keep some seeds down. Let's see here, the sweet potato slips. They've all died. They seem to have, once I planted them, they just kind of seem to went downhill from there. So we've got more. I've got more potato slips inside from the same potatoes I picked these from. So we may get some more going. Spearmint. I got 3 things of spearmint here. This is the first time I've ever done these. I've got this, I'm gonna have to go back and look these up, but I've got this red thing here. We did these from seed. It's supposed to be some kind of flower for my pollinators. I've got a picture in my phone. I took a picture of all the seed packets as I planted them in each one. So I have to go back and see exactly what it's called. Here's another one. It's kind of gotten bent and then stood back up. Never done this one before, but it's some kind of pollinator flower. Let's see what else we got coming up. Beans are coming up. I got 2 rows of beans planted right through here. And you can see when the beans start to come out, man, they're very destructive. Look how mean they look coming up. How they break the soil. Kind of reminds me of trimmers. Here's another one. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do a trellis net, which is what the T-posts are for. I run a trellis net all the way across to this other T-post, and that way the beans have something to grow up to. But these are bush beans. They're supposed to be bush beans, so I'm trying to see if I want to do it a little different this year. So we got a few more there. But all this little stuff, this is all the stuff that's blown in from the storms. Just weeds. I'm sure it's the same stuff right here that's in my onions. I need to get my little hand trowel in here and just kind of rake them out. They're not very deep, they come right up. That looks a little better. So yep, I'll have to get in there and weed that whole thing. Not a big deal. Sweet peppers, we talked about the sweet peppers, we showed you the tomatoes. Here's some more herbs that we purchased, we haven't got planted. What is this? Lemon balm. I think these are cilantros. Yes, cilantro. All right. I got some broody chickens. All right. Got my little sprinkler going here. I just threw down some chicken manure, pasteurized chicken manure we just bought from Tractor Supply. Scattered it out here on top of the corn. And I've been watering it every day, heavily. Because that was last year when I grew corn. I only had 2 rows. I had 1 long row and I had a short row. But this year we've got 4 long rows, so we'll have a little bit more corn. But I watered it very heavily, like the first 2 weeks after planting. They didn't even come up yet, and I was just on the water. And those plants ended up being 9-10 foot tall. And I think we got about 30 heads of corn, 30 ears of corn. So this year we're gonna do 4. I wanna see how much I can do this time. The cucumbers are over there. They're encased in a net to keep the chickens from eating them. There's a net on both sides, and it's gonna work as a trellis to go up. And it'll go up to the red bar there. And then, you know, back down, we'll keep it trimmed. So keeping the chickens out of there is still a challenge. They've been getting in here scratching. That's a chicken scratch. Let me show you guys this Super Thrive plant food. And the only reason I had to get this is because something in my area, something's going on with Alaska. The Alaskan fish fertilizer, it comes in this kind of bottle. The label come off. I had to get this, and it was, to me, in my opinion, you always want to look for this, okay? Anytime you're putting anything on your plants that you're buying at store, if it does not have this on it, do not put it on your plants. Don't buy it, you're wasting your money. It's basically poison, okay? Anyways, this is a 411, and the Alaskan fish fertilizer, which I've been using for years and I really enjoy, is a 511. So we're only losing 1 point on the nitrogen with the Super Thrive compared to the Alaskan. I've been to Lowe's, Home Depot, several Walmarts. Cannot find this stuff anymore. I'm not sure what the deal is. So it's basically the same thing. It's fish fertilizer and a rich source of nutrients, which is just fish fertilizer. So they're just telling you a rich source of nutrients is just from the fish fertilizer. It's not fish fertilizer and other stuff, okay? This stuff right here is with mycorrhiza that help increases water and nutrient absorbent, which is the exact same thing that I use this is. This is mycorrhiza too. This just has this in it. This one comes in at 444. So this is what I threw down on the peppers and tomatoes and the onions over here. They've gotten a helping of that, and the beans. The beans have gotten a helping of it. And it's basically just like with the liquid, but it's the only best way I can describe it is dehydrated fish emulsion, okay? It's dehydrated fish poop. That's the best way I can describe it. I've never used this Super Thrive before. I have seen good and bad reviews. Some people swear by it, some people think it's the devil. And where I came from and all of my knowledge of growing, and you see all these products that I use, what do you not see in any of these products that I use? You don't see Miracle-Gro, because where I come from in my schooling, Miracle-Gro is the devil. It's too hot, it's basically poison, don't buy it. If it has a Miracle-Gro logo on it, don't buy it. It will harm your plants, or it's going to make your food not do well or taste bad or look funny. So I do this so you can give an example of good plants and good food that is fresh and that is organic, this is the basics of what I use aside from these two, because we just purchased these. But this is typically the replacing of the Alaskan fish fertilizer. Just can't find it. I've been looking for it for 2 weeks. I live in an area full of Walmarts, Home Depots, and Lowe's and co-ops. I live in a cornfield, basically. Sometimes it's beans, soybeans, but it's mostly corn. So we're in an area of plant people, and we cannot find it. So I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yep, that's what I do. This is the stuff I use, which hopefully my work speaks for itself. But yep. But all right, guys, I hope you guys have a good Sunday. Monday's coming. We gotta get back to work. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.